And then quickly, let me do my pros and cons list, you guys. So let's do pros first. So lineup, I would say obviously is a huge drawing point for me. When I looked at this, I saw like Above and Beyond, I saw Seven Lions, I saw MK back-to-back Sonny Fodera, and I was already sold. But then to have like, as a house head, to have so much house music, it personally like spoke to me. Like it was a fucking no-brainer when I saw this lineup. I would say if you're like really into heavy music, like hardstyle or bass, maybe you wouldn't be into this as much. They also didn't have a lot of techno, but I thought the lineup was incredible for a small event. And then for the price point, like I said, I had my passes free through Insomniac, but I'm pretty sure this was under $200, which I think is a really fair price point for the artists that you're getting. Next pro, 100% the crowd. Like one of the best festival crowds I've ever dealt with, especially coming off of Ultra, which is one of the worst I've ever dealt with. Like I didn't have a single issue, and I asked my friends, no one had a complaint. Like everybody said the same thing. I didn't deal with shoving. Like no bad interactions in the crowd whatsoever. Everyone was super cool. And I was in VIP and GA and like didn't see a difference. Again, in GA, the only time I was really, really close to the front of the stage was for Gem and Tori, but people were having a blast. People were having a great time. I did talk to a lot of people who said it was their first festival back, like since the pandemic. So that could have also attributed to it because people were just so excited to be there. But I have to say the crow. I can't talk. Am I having a stroke right now? The crowd was a pro. My God. Also pro, I would say location. It was very easy to get to. Like transportation options were great. And again, like if you wanted to go to DC and like do touristy things, like you could easily have stayed like in the city where we were and have done that too. I'm going to say the weather. This could be pro or con because I guess for the time of year, like it could have been a full like washout and it could have rained every day. But because the Saturday was gorgeous and Sunday was like meh, I'm going to say the pro could be the weather. Production. So production is kind of in both. I'm going to say stage design is potentially a con, but production, like music was great. They still had the pyro. They had some fireworks. Like I got everything I needed for a small event out of 2 stages, to be honest with you. So I thought the production was great. No sound issues, no sound bleed. People were nervous about that. Didn't have any issues with sound bleed. VIP area is definitely a pro. I would recommend it, guys. I would personally spend a little bit more money if you want to next year, because for me at this point in my life, I like the extra room. I like that it is just convenient to go to the bathroom. Like I can leave my group and go pee and come back because it's so easy to find them. There's food back there. Like I just think it's worth it personally. There also were like tented areas. So when it rained, we could like go under the tent. And again, it was pretty small. Like the VIP area near the Pulse stage was smaller, but I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it's a pro for sure. And the staff, I have the staff as a pro. Again, never dealt with anybody that like had an issue. Everyone was so nice, so friendly, like really, really no complaints about that at all. Cons. Okay, let's talk about it. So it was hard for me to think about these. I literally was talking to my group, like when we left, we all were like, there aren't that many. So I'm going to be critical here. I'm going to be nitpicky, guys. So cons, more after party options. That's what I would say, because I personally didn't really buy tickets because I didn't really care for some of the artists that were playing the after party, except for the John Summit one on Sunday. But I just knew that was going to be an absolute shit show because he was playing Soundcheck, which is a really small venue, and the after party sold out like that. So Saturday, I wasn't like thrilled. I don't really listen to Weathen. I think it was Weathen and Diplo. And I was like, I'm not dealing with the Diplo crowd. And I'm not really like, I don't listen to Weathen. So I think there could be more after party options. Like if we had some like house or techno, like after parties, I would have been about that. So yeah, hopefully in the future they can have more options for after parties. Food, I don't think it's a huge con because I really only ate nachos and fries, and those 2 options were good. Actually, so I don't really know why I have this in a con. I think I put it in here because Vicky and Shannon did go to a food vendor on Saturday, and that was the only experience that wasn't great. Like the people gave them the wrong order, like weren't listening to them, and the food was cold. So I think it was just that one vendor was an issue. But other than that, when we walked around the whole festival, they had like a solid amount of options. They had some vegan options. So I think food was just kind of like neutral. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I guess like the only other con I said for the VIP area, they could have had more trailer bathrooms, because when it got to nighttime on Saturday and Sunday, we literally went out to the GA bathrooms and came back because it was so much faster than the lines that built up. So they could have had more bathrooms in the VIP area. The main stage design, I've heard people talking about this. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I'm on the fence. I think they did a good job with like the production, and I think it was cool to look at. But I definitely think there could be improvements. Like the gear thing was cute, but I don't think it was like as like edgy and modern as it could have been. So I'm like on the fence about the main stage design. I thought the pole stage was really cool with like the grid of like LED screens that they had. But again, it was a smaller festival. So I kind of feel like we got what we paid for, and it was still like really, really good. But hopefully there will be improvements if this festival grows in the future. And then my last con is I would love more art installations. Like they had the one, I think she's called Electra. I'm trying to think what else they had. They didn't have that many art installations. And since it was a parking lot, I think like that would have been cool if they had a couple more like cool areas you could go like hang out in or stuff like that. So it's really just like more thoughts for the future because it went so well, if they want to like improve and expand it, I think they totally fucking could do that. So that's everything, you guys. I'm going to take a super quick break here. I'm going to give final thoughts and then our Rave Culture Cast recap, and then we'll end the episode.